welcome to another edition of Taura with the Prince. I'm your boy Russell, aka The Prince. We're out here in the mother city of Cape Town, joined by one of our favorite businessmen in Cape Town who's doing big things and showing off how Zimbabweans do things. But at the moment, we just want to take you to a video. You enjoy the video. See you after the break. Watching that video, you have a lot of questions that you're asking yourself. What is this all about? Well, we're joined on the show today by Moreboys Munetsi from MFS, who is going to be telling us or elaborating more about the video. Welcome, Moreboys, to the show Taura with the Prince. It's been a pleasure to get you onto the show. Tell me, who's Moreboys Munetsi?
Moreboys Munetsi, he's the current CEO of Maranatha Financial Solutions. Maranatha has got two divisions, the funeral one and the vehicle tracking.
Wow. And so Maranatha Financial Services and Funeral Services and Tracking Services, what is it all about?
Okay, I will start with the tracking. We started doing the vehicle tracking, that was in 2015 in January. I was just watching. I'm somebody who always look on the news, and I do a lot of research, especially on business, to see what products that I believe that can benefit Zimbabweans, but they are struggling to get them. So I could see that many Zimbabweans were losing their cars, and there were so many cases about cars being stolen. So I had to go to one of the tracking companies, Tracker. The first time I went there, they couldn't believe me, but I had to explain to them that, you know, this is the concept of the business. And for them, it was their first time. You know, Tracker is a big company. For somebody who is just coming, telling them that let's
do this.
Yes. So we had to agree. I had to convince them. I had to sell myself. But I think one of the things that convinced them is that, remember that in 2014, I won an award for Zimbabwean Excellent Awards. I won the award for the Business Organization of the Year. So I had to tell them that, guys, just to give me the opportunity to work with you. Yes. So that's how we started the vehicle tracking, which has been going very well, although with some challenges, but now we are building again the company.
Wow.
And then on the funeral side, I have been part of Zororo Pumulani, which is one of the leading insurance companies. I'm the founding director. I worked with them for almost 4 years, but things happened, if I have to say it. And then I decided to focus more on the funeral business with other directors.
Okay. Yes. So obviously on the funeral side of things,
yes.
What is your main focus? Because you are a Zimbabwean,
yes,
and you're in South Africa, and you're focusing on funerals. What is really going on?
The funeral, you know, it's very sad. Even if today you have to go to government mortuaries, and then you see there are many bodies of Zimbabweans unclaimed, and at the end of the day, some are being buried with bandits here. They can't be claimed, and people are struggling to repatriate a body to Zimbabwe, and with some situations whereby the parents, they have to sell cows in Zimbabwe to raise money. Yes. So on the funeral business, it's not, for me, the way I feel it, it's not about making money, because remember, you're dealing with people who are crying, you're dealing with people who use all their money just for the body to go. So for me, it's more about helping people. On the funeral business, I have also repatriated some bodies free of charge.
Wow.
Yes, because It's not that I want to do free of charge, but this is a job whereby it can even challenge your spiritual life.
True that.
Whereby there's a situation whereby somebody, the family split them with you, they don't have money.
They don't have the money, the funds to give.
So on the funeral, yes, we do for Zimbabweans, we also do for other nationalities.
Wow.
Yes.
And you doing it that way, what is the process that is done for that to happen in terms of let's say, for example, someone going to Zimbabwe? Is it something easy that is done overnight and off they go, or like you're saying, there's a lot of problems that you face?
You see, the repatriation process, I will start with the registration. The easier way, on the registration process, we've decided to speak to underwriters. You know, there are many Zimbabweans who are in South Africa, and some of them, they are not documented. But at the end of the day, death happens to anyone. It's either you're documented or not. Yes. So what we are doing now is, our policy is that as long as you're a Zimbabwean, we can register you. On the registration process, you just have to provide your Zimbabwean ID or your Zimbabwean passport. Then we enter your information in the system. And then within few minutes, we've got one of the best system. If you've got an email, within 2 minutes, you'll be having your police document.
Wow.
And then when it comes to the repatriation, it is a long process. Not a long process, but it's difficult because those documents, they don't come from the same office. You have to work with different departments. So on the repatriation process, it's not an easy process. You just have to know where to go. So for us, it takes me almost 48 hours. The paperwork is done, and then the body is going to Zimbabwe.
Wow.
Yes.
So we're going to take a break, and Moreboys is still hanging out with us here on Taura with the Prince. If you want to know more info, stay tuned. We'll be right back. Welcome, you're still tuned in to Taura with the Prince. I'm still sitting here with Moreboys Munetsi, who is telling us about the business side of his life, Marinata Financial Services and Funeral Services, and also the tracking company also. We are hearing that you're doing the tracking side of things, you're doing the financial side of things, the funeral side of things. Now the financial side of things, let's say, for example, someone has registered with you, and part of the registration obviously entitles them their body being repatriated to Zimbabwe or to any other African countries. Do you guys have a policy? For example, I have a wife and I leave my wife and kids. Can they be part of the policy? How does it work?
Okay, on the funeral side, we've got different packages. The interesting thing about the funeral policy is that our generation as young people, including me, normally we don't really think about the funeral.
True.
But the good thing is that at our age, we also think about people in Zimbabwe. So you'd see that some they will tell you that Moreboys, don't worry about me, you will make a plan for me. But I've got parents in Zimbabwe, extended family in Zimbabwe. So that our policy, you can also cover your extended family in Zimbabwe. And then if you're in South Africa, for example, your question, if you are married, you've got a wife, you've got the minimum policy that we have. The policy, we provide a coffin, we do the repatriation of the body to Zimbabwe, we conduct the funeral service in Zimbabwe. On that one, the minimum premium is almost 89 Rand, but it can cover member, spouse, and up to 6 children.
Wow, 89 Rand, guys, 89 Rand. That's all it costs for you to get a funeral policy. A lot of our young people here in Cape Town, like you were saying, there's a lot of bodies that are unclaimed. A lot of our young people are indulging in drugs and a whole lot of things, and they end up on the wrong side of the law. Now, how are you spreading the word to those young people? How are you getting your company out there? Because there's a lot of people that don't know about you, that are going to know about you on the show. How are you getting that information out?
It's very sad to be honest, how young people are dying in Cape Town. I'm going to just give in general on the statistics. Yes, majority of our repatriations, there are people are being shot.
Wow.
especially places that are really dangerous. Delft is dangerous, Nyanga is dangerous, Kailicha is dangerous. So it seems that per week you do about 2 or 3 repatriations.
Sure.
Most of them, it's a result they are victims of crime.
Crime.
Yes, and then there are also accidents, and also we don't want, and also about HIV/AIDS, and it's really sad, especially for young people. You know, I meet the families and I saw everything. You know, if I had another way of trying to give the message to the young people to live a peaceful life, a good life, I would so. But we don't give up. We use the platforms like funerals. If you have seen me doing a presentation at funerals, at churches, I also try to encourage young people to live accordingly.
True. So now, you said you got different policies. You spoke about the 89 Rand one?
Yes.
Okay, so what type of policies do you have? Do you have a range, or you just have an 89 Rand one, or?
Okay, you know what we do is we've got different packages. Some packages, they've got benefits, like you get the quality of the casket, it differs with the package. For example, the most expensive one, you pay for a member spouse and 6 children, 8 people, you pay about 249 Rand. But on that 249 Rand, it includes things like you get a dome casket, the most expensive one, you get a good tombstone. So it's more about the benefits that you receive.
Wow. So including that one, that the most expensive one, let's say I've covered my family at home as well.
Yes.
Do they also get the same in that package?
No, we've got different packages.
Wow.
Yeah, so for people in Zimbabwe, we do have their own packages, and then in South Africa, we've got different packages.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, Moreboys, you being on the show, like I had asked you earlier on, what are you doing for the young people? What are you going out there to do to change their lives? As a businessman, as a young Zimbabwean who's staying in Cape Town, what would you like to say to the young people in Cape Town?
Okay, you know, the good thing for what I am today, there are also some people who have played a major role. You know, as business people, on ourselves, we've got a very good relationship. If you ask Brian Chimtashi Darikin, he's a friend to me, he's a brother to me. So if I've got a financial problem, that maybe I've got things are not going well, I just go to Bright. If he has something, he comes and help me. The same as Brass Chu. If I've got a problem, I phone him and say, Brass Chu, things are difficult, please help me. And he always assisted me. And there are some upcoming people, young people who are in business, like Tinashe Chungwaru. I think I've groomed her from scratch. She comes here, we sit down, I advise her. And even last week, there were 2 guys who came to me. They also want to do the trekking business. They came to me for an advice, and they were surprised. They were thinking that I was not gonna give them the information how the business operates. They were very excited. Yeah. So in terms of the business,
what do you want to tell the young people in terms of business-wise, in terms of them reaching where you've reached?
Oh, okay.
What would you like to tell them?
You know, if you check on my background, I'm somebody who grew up in a rural area. I think from the time that I was born in Chikwaka area, Kachikamadari, deep rural area, whereby my mother gave birth on her way to the village clinic. So I grew up in a rural area. It was remote. And some people would say SRP, strong rural background. I wouldn't say it's no. But growing in that environment, the first achievement for you was to make sure that you pass your O level and then you can go to town. So you have to work very hard, because my father would say, if you don't pass your O level, you stay here. So when I came here, I knew that I had a potential to do greater things. Yeah. So you see, that background, it encouraged me. Some people, they always want to blame their background. No, my father was poor. He didn't take me to an expensive school, and so on and so. So my message to young people is that
speak to them on the camera. Talk to them on the camera.
My message to the young people is, guys, you need to be focused. You don't have to make millions to be rich. If you ask me about how I started MFS, we started in a small office. If you ask me how we started Sororo Pomlani, the first course center was at my garage. So you don't need millions. If you have got your idea, the little money that you have, it can make a change.
Wow. Powerful words from Moreboys Munetsi. You don't need millions to be a businessman. You don't need to have a truckload of money to be who you want to be. You can be the change that you want to see in this world. You can be a point of reference in some people's lives. So today, from me and the Taura crew, we say goodbye.
To Ms. Nometa. Okay, so you said you are interested in our funeral policy. So which language are you comfortable in? English or Shona? Okay. So sisonke pa funeral policy yedu inenge chizobatsira vanhu kutora vafi vavo kubva kuno kusvika kuZimbabwe. Then kana tasvika kuZimbabwe ikoko tichizovapawo maservices anodiwa kana munhu achinge ashaika.
Hello, say how are you?
Pamaplani iwayo panenge pachizo each plan.
So you've heard about MFS, insurance and funeral services and tracking services. So where can they find you?
Okay, our address is number 47 Strand Street here in Cape Town, 8th floor, and the office is 804. And they can also check, we do have a website whereby they can also submit their details. It's www.mfsinsure.co.za. They can also follow us on our Facebook page.
And from Taura with the Prince, we would like to say thank you for tuning on to the show. Tune to us again next week for another brilliant, exciting show with Taura with the Prince. I'm your boy Russell, aka The Prince, with Moreboys Munetsi signing out. Peace.